Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. It is finally over. Stressful time for a lot of people. You know, everybody wanted to get the perfect present for people. Everybody running around doing shopping. Today, probably going to be even crazier out there because a lot of people returning stuff that maybe didn't fit and just returning stuff for different reasons. So today, I actually want to talk a little bit about Christmas sales. And not the deals like what's on sale today or this and that, although there will be a lot of cool Christmas kits and stuff on sale. If you like shave regularly, maybe you'll go and buy a Christmas razor kit or something. There will be a ton of deals in like Walmarts and then type of places. But what I really want to talk about today is the sales numbers. Now, I was kind of doing some different reading on, you know, how the sales did this year. Was it like better than average? Was it average? Was it below average? Because a lot of people understand, you know, that we are in some sort of a recession, a depression, despite what they're telling you. I'm going by what I see. When I go to the restaurants, I see less people in there eating out. I go to a lot of restaurants because I have a lot of friends that are business owners. I ask them how business is. I talk to them on a regular basis. And when I do that, I'm hearing a lot of them all tell me the same thing. Business is slow. You know, a lot of them want to say it's that time of the year. A lot of them don't want to come out and say, you know, hey, the economy's bad. Why? It's almost like they don't want to put that taste in their mouth. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. If you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. The majority of the people that watch the videos, I can see how long they watch them for, but I can't see, I can't understand why a lot of people forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's just difficult to remember. So that's why I always try to mention it. If you enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button. And we will be going live this weekend. I will have which day it will be, whether it will be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I will put that up that morning, in the morning video. I just don't know which day it will be yet because everything going on. And we will be doing our big members event where we give away a free ounce of silver to a lucky winner. I'm pretty sure we'll be using the wheel again, but I've contemplated doing a duck race, but we'll get to that when we get to that bridge. So about sales numbers though. So when I looked, it said that sales were pretty average, you know, ran about 2%, 2.5% more, and that's associated with inflation. And I get such a kick out of that when I hear that because inflation, maybe 2.5%, maybe, but prices of everything are going up like crazy. So I don't believe it is 2.5%. I can only say maybe because obviously they put those lousy numbers out and then they modify it later. And I always laugh when I see that stuff because I can tell you right now, the average things that I buy, I don't spend a lot of money on miscellaneous stuff, but the majority of the stuff that I buy is up a whole lot more than 2.5%. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that. In fact, there's a lot of people out there that are just living paycheck to paycheck right now, just trying to make ends meet. And so when they put out that, oh, it was about 2.5% higher, I found that kind of interesting because inflation's a lot higher, so prices are a lot higher. And then once you realize the prices are higher, that means that people must have bought in less for the numbers just to come in average. You know, they're not going to, obviously, I don't think they would put out huge numbers like, oh, they were amazing this late in the game, because the previous administration is already pretty much out. It's just a matter of time now before the full change is in place. We have a new administration. I'm really curious if a new administration is going to come out and be honest. I've heard a lot of people say they think that when the new administration comes in, they're going to do a full recap of the exactly where the economy is and give all the numbers, put it all, make it all visible so people can see, and then go on the up and up. The problem with that, I don't think they will do that personally, because here's the thing. I'm not convinced that any major changes are going to be able to kick in anytime soon, which means it will look like instantly the economy is not getting better. And fear, is kind of it's a bad thing. I hate to say it. I've talked to some people on why they don't put out the official numbers, why they end up modifying it later, because they don't want to scare people. If you knew we were in a recession or a depression, would you go out and spend as much money as you spend maybe on a regular basis? I'm going to go out on a limb and say the majority of the subscribers to the channel probably are stackers. They're probably good with their money, because that's the common scenario for a stacker. They usually know how to budget their money. They know how to plan it. Maybe before they were stacking, they weren't the best with their money. But then once they started stacking, they found a way to save their money and put it towards something that will grow. And despite the naysayers out there that are going to tell you, oh yeah, it's been really growing, it was $35 for a few minutes a month ago, and now look at it, $29.50. You're going to see pullbacks. It's funny because those same people you let people know when they talk about Bitcoin, they'll be like, well, yeah, it went up so much, of course it's going to have a pullback. But they won't acknowledge that when it comes to silver. Now, I always say you have to compare stuff in a fair, unbiased way. And you have to be able to debate stuff. But if you're not really being honest, you can't have a debate. And the truth of the matter is, Bitcoin has been on a tear. It had a big pullback. And we'll see what happens now. I mean, I actually read one article. They actually said like 18% pullback. And I didn't do the math to see how much that was, but that's a pretty big hit. You probably realistically won't see silver or gold take an 18% dive instantly like we saw with Bitcoin. I'm not knocking Bitcoin. People that have invested in Bitcoin a year ago are doing really well with it. And that's great if it holds its position, if it continues to grow. But will it? With precious metals, I think that eventually we are going to see a tremendous increase in the price of specifically silver, but all precious metals will go up. And the reason for that is countries are buying up gold. They understand gold is the key to everything. You want to trade with other countries, trade gold. Why trade with the dollars? And that's what a lot of countries are doing. Now, they're doing it because they understand that the dollar has gained too much power, and now it's becoming a weapon. It's being used. The same people that basically strengthen the dollar, in some cases, are now having it used against them. And once you realize that, you realize you don't want to hold them anymore. And that's exactly what's happening. And on the flip side of that, you have gold that's continuing to go up. And silver always catches up. It just takes a little while. But here's the thing. With silver, the only reason silver is as low as it is right now is because of the huge, huge short position betting against silver. Now, where did all that money come from? Does that money even exist? What happened? A lot of that comes down to just paper contracts. Someone coming out and saying, you know what, I want to borrow a million ounces of silver, and I'll give it back to you in a month. And essentially, as soon as they get it, they just sell those paper contracts on the market. And that pushes the price even lower. Now, could they get caught? Well, yeah, they could. And what I mean by getting caught is if the price jumps and they've got to pay it back at $35, $40 an ounce, they're going to be hurting. But the truth of the matter is, these big banks always get bailouts. Maybe they'll get a bail-in. Maybe your savings account or your friend's savings accounts, relatives, who knows, will be forced to bail in, and they will then be stockholders in the company. Anybody that don't know only needs to look up the Dodd-Frank Act. Once you realize that they have that ability now after 2008 to do bail-ins, the government does not want to get caught and get put in the position where they've got to bail out big banks. So they've now given, and they say it's for our well-being. We shouldn't be using tax dollars to bail out the bank. This is for your protection. But the truth of the matter is, it's even worse now because now they're just going to take your money outright. Personally, I would rather they use tax dollars as opposed to my personal savings account to bail in a bank. And that's what they're doing now. That's what they're saying they will do if another 2008 happens. And the truth of the matter is, it's right around the corner. You know, a lot of people think it can never happen again. There's safety nets, but here's the thing. They're going back to the same risky lending practices that they were doing back then. They've slowly been moving back to it. And are we there totally yet? Well, we're not as bad as we were, but we are getting that way. We're slowly moving that way. Why? Because they know they will be covered. And that's why they can afford to risk. That's why, you know, you've got big banks that are now buying up Bitcoin and buying up gold. They understand what's going on. They can just leverage their money, and it gives them a huge advantage, because the average person like me or you, we don't have huge amounts of money that we can just go and invest and basically just write it off, or if we lose it all, get a bank bailout, or if it goes up, hey, that's great, we get to make money off of it. You know, we're going to see what happens. They're continuing to print money. Anybody that doesn't think they are only needs to do a little homework. They are continuing to print, and it will have a drastic effect on the value of the dollar down the road. When? Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe next month, next year, who knows? It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. We came pretty close a while back when all them banks started going under. And that's why they had to lower the interest rates, because banks were in trouble. If they had kept interest rates up, they would have been in trouble. Banks would have been in trouble. And by they, I mean the Federal Reserve, the government. We were already facing shutdowns. We already had the interest payment that we were paying on our debt was too much. It was breaking the system down. And here's the thing. Eventually, that's going to happen. We can't keep interest rates at zero. And I know they're not at zero yet, but they are starting to come down again. The lower they go, the less apt people are going to want to buy treasury bonds. And as people start abandoning the treasury bond market, then that's going to cause a whole nother set of problems. And it's going to take out the stock market. It's going to take out cryptos. It's probably going to take down even precious metals for a little while. But how bad? Who knows? Because the truth of the matter is, smart money is going to try to get out as quick as they can, and they're going to try to buy up precious metals. Don't get me wrong. They're going to look for a little bit of a dip. They're going to let the metals come down a little bit so they can get that dip. But here's the thing. Will you be able to catch the precious metals when they dip? I'm not going to take a chance. That's why I pick up stuff now. This month I was a little behind. I didn't meet my goal for the month, but I mean I had a couple months over the year where I ended up doing triple what my goal was. So I don't stress months that I don't buy, because I know that I'm stacking. I'm preparing for what is going to happen, and it will happen sooner or later. With that being said, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I thank everybody for watching. If you have any tips or suggestions that would make a good video, go ahead and leave a comment below. I love reading them. And like I said, this weekend we will be doing our special members event. So if you're a member, make sure your membership is active, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see what the prize will be. I want to hurry up and get that event going, get it mailed out before the end of the year, and basically get everybody their stuff before the end of the year. There's still a couple people that I had a problem with getting their package to them, and so now I'm going to try again, probably this week, Friday, I think. I got to see when the end of the month is. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.